everyone, I was tagged by Candace Scarborough for the TMI craft related video, and here are the TMI crafty tags questions, so I'll try to answer these quickly. The first one is, what do you wear while you're crafting? Blue jeans and a shirt. Usually just comfortable clothes. I also have a shirt that I put on over my clothes, one of my husband's old shirts. So if I'm getting real messy, I'm good to go. Can you say you have a crafting supply that you have been in love with? Absolutely, and it's got to be my AccuCut Grand Mark machine. I love it. I use it every day. It's nice having the larger dies. It's come in handy for so many occasions and things that I've done. Let's see. Number 3, have you found a product that is completely unsatisfactory to you? Absolutely, yes, I have. And that product was actually the cinch machine. I didn't like it. It never worked correctly. I contacted the manufacturer and they didn't seem to have a clue, and they wouldn't take it back, and I ended up sending it, actually I sold it to a friend of mine who, her husband was able to fix whatever its problem was, and she's been using it. So anyway, how large is my crafting space? Not big. It is about 5 by 7 feet. What you see behind you is about it. I have spilled over into our basement area, so I have some bookshelves and things like that, but I do share the space with my husband, so it is our space, and I love every inch of it. How often do I shop for supplies? That kind of depends. I'm very budget oriented. I don't spend a lot on crafts, even though sometimes I do, but those are not, very often. I usually shop my coupons and the sale ads and things for my local stamp stores and my local scrapbook stores, as well as AC Moore, Michaels, those kind of things. So, let's see. Do you have more hobbies than paper crafting? Yes, I love to read. What are 2 things other than paper and glue that you feel should always be used together? Copic markers and expressive blended cardstock. What are my favorite glues? E6000 and Tombow Mono multi-adhesive. What is something that you would like to try in crafting? I think I've tried it all, but I'm open to suggestions. What is your favorite embellishment? Ribbon. At what age did you start crafting? At birth. I've been crafting probably all of my life in some sense or another, and started taking it seriously as an adult. What is your birthday? It's December 15th, 1964. I am 49 years old, and I plan to stay in bed on my 50th birthday, but that's a different story for a different day. How much do you spend on craft supplies each month? Probably $150 to $200. Probably less than that. It's just, like I said, it's kind of according. Out of all the tools that you use, what are your favorites? Again, my favorites are my die cutting machines, especially the AccuCut Grand Mark machine. How much? What is your favorite quote right now? And that is actually a little verse, and it says, "To see each new day, a world made anew, as if it were the dawn of the very first day. To treasure and use it as if it were the very final hour of the very last day." And there's a lot of truth in that. Okay, how do you pull together? Okay, my favorite colors are mauve, pink, and green. Do I listen to music? No, I like quiet when I craft. Sometimes I'll watch a YouTube video in the background, but not often. How long does it normally take me to finish a project? It's according to what the project is, so that's kind of hard to answer. I keep placing my place, so if I miss any, I'm sorry, folks. Why did I join YouTube? Okay, well, I actually joined YouTube because I had started to become the victim of bullying, and I was completely and totally tired of it. and I decided that it was time to make a name for myself and show me for who I am. I'm not superficial. I'm not a bully. I love the Lord with all of my heart. I love my family with all of my heart, and I don't appreciate people who think that they're better than anybody else. If you need that in your life, go for it. I don't need you in mine if that's the way you feel. So, what project have you ever made that has frustrated you so much that you made you cry? I have not had one to this day that has frustrated me to tears. Usually if I get frustrated, it lives on top of the trash can for a few days, and I either pick it up and finish it, or I take it apart and use it on something else. And I think that I just answered the thrown a half-finished project away question 2. If you could change your YouTube name to one that reflected your crafting styles, my YouTube name does reflect my crafting style. It is I Want a Stamp. A lot of people do search me under Loretta Roger, and because of the Google changes, it will come up. But my actual stamp, my name for my channel is I Want a Stamp. How long has it been since you made something for yourself to keep? I made something for myself less than 2 weeks ago. I posted pictures here, and it was the altered baby wipe container that I turned into a dryer sheet container, and it sits on top of my dryer. It's cute, and I use it every day, and so nobody mistakes it for baby wipes. What are you working on now? I am now working on some ATC cards and a couple of mini books, which I will show you guys soon. What is my last YouTube video you watched? That would be Candace's tag video, which caused this one to happen. Who was the last person on YouTube you spoke via private message? Also Candace. We just Skyped, which I love. And if any of you would like to also Skype and have some crafty time with me, or with me and Candace for that matter, please email me privately, and I will be sure to add your Skype information to our list so we can have you join us. We have a great time, and I would love for you to join us and see what you're doing in the crafty arena. Do I have any siblings or other people in my life that craft, that are relatives? No. My only sister died about 6 years ago, and she was never a big crafter, and so I usually craft alone or with my girlfriends. Where's the last place you brought supplies? That was the Queen's Ink. That video is being processed and uploading now. What are my favorite channel tutorials? Oh, I have too many to mention. My favorite is Following the Paper Trail with Laura Dennison, and I also like Donna Downey's stuff. Anybody who does altered art, I love their stuff. So out of all the projects you've done, what was my favorite? That one's very easy. That would be the Never Ending card that Scrap and Stamp Arts magazine deemed the coolest card ever. No one will ever touch that title. Ever. It is mine to keep. It is on pages 54 and 55 of the April 2008 issue. There are not very many left in print, and I plan to buy the last 10 that they have for myself. So yeah, that was my favorite. What's the last thing you did non-crafty where you had fun? Well, shopping that was non-crafty and shopping that was crafting all on the same day is the answer to that. I had to run some errands and buy some groceries yesterday, and I actually picked up 2 pieces of Franciscan Desert Rose that I did not have in my collection that I wanted, so I guess that kind of answers that. Channels with the best hauls, I have no idea. I watch them, but I couldn't tell you one from another. I love them all. What's my favorite kind of sweet candies? I can't eat sweet candies. I'm a type 2 diabetic. I can have the sugar-free candies, and I do. And I have to really watch my intake of foods high in carbs because they mess with my blood sugars. I have to avoid most alcoholic beverages, but I do have an occasional glass of wine with dinner, or if we're out with friends or something like that. Let's see. I don't have a project that I've shared or seen shared that has impressed me so much I wanted to share it with other people. I usually like and comment the ones that mean the most to me. Which describes you? Full-time crafter, part-time? Okay, I am a full-time crafter. During the day, after I have finished my chores around the house, taking care of my home is very important to me, and so I do take a lot of pride in that. Because of certain circumstances, with my shoulder and my back and after surgery, I do want to give a really big shout out right now to my son Chad Alexander James. He's 19, a freshman in college. But y'all, I couldn't really ask for anyone to support me any more than he has. He does it lovingly and without complaining, and he does a good job when Mom needs an extra hand, and that is so appreciated, and I love him dearly. Let's see. What else? What's the last thing you did? Okay, I did it. Full-time crafter. Who was the last person you hadn't seen on YouTube in a while? There are a few people I haven't seen on YouTube in a while, and because I haven't seen them in a while and do not know what their circumstances are, I'd rather not mention their names or their YouTube channels. I just don't think that that would be right, and I really, whoever set up these questions, that may not be a really good one to have in there. So it's just my opinion, but you know, sometimes people aren't on YouTube for various reasons, whether it's health or other things that are just going on in their lives, that we can PM them and let them know we're thinking about them, or if we have their address, send them a card or a letter. But I think that that's as far as it should go. Have you ever watched YouTube videos while crafting but didn't leave a comment? Yes, I do it all the time. I'll forget, and I've watched the videos, and it's like, you know, 2 days later, it's like, oh man, I meant to leave a comment on that video and let them know how much I like their project. Or I saw one, unfortunately I don't remember who did it, but this young lady had saved up different Christmas cards, and she just took punches and dies and backed them with like decorative scrapbooking paper and turned them into ornaments, and they were gorgeous. And I forgot to leave a channel comment, and like 3 months later I found her video again, and I did tell her how much I really liked her work. So that answers the do you feel guilty for not leaving them question. Yes, I do. So I try to catch up and do try to leave a comment. Do you subscribe to other channels that are non-crafty? Yes, I do. This may not come as a surprise to some of you, may come as a surprise to a lot of you. I'm a huge foodie. So post-surgery, I've really had to watch what I eat, the amount I eat, and all that, because there are certain medications I can no longer take that control my blood sugars, and we are still kind of narrowing down what's going to be our next step. Diet so far is keeping things fairly equal in that department, but it's not 100%. So I do love cooking shows. I am very thrifty in the kitchen too. I'm a very good cook. And I love to cook. I absolutely love to cook. So, and with my husband being gone, it's kind of hard to cook for just two, but last night I made from scratch my version of Hamburger Helper cheeseburger macaroni and cheese. It came out so good, and I thought that there'd be enough for leftovers. There's not a drop left over, folks. It's completely gone. It was that good. Let's see. Who else do I want to answer these questions? Well, I tag everybody out there who watches my channel. So like Linda LaPaca, Sybil, Candace has already answered these. Little Red Wagon Studio, Stephanie, you can answer them. Oh my goodness, I can't think of I can think of a bunch off the top of my head, but Roxy Carr, if you want to answer them. Anybody out there who would like to answer these crafty related questions, I'm sure I missed them, and I hope that I haven't rambled too long, but I do appreciate that you tuned in today with Stamping with Loretta, and I hope to see you all again soon. That's 2 videos in one day. Not a record for me, but it's getting close. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Stamp happy, be a blessing. Please be kind to one another. Life's too short not to be. I just can't tell you that how much your life will change, that even when confronted with anger and ugliness, even when you want to shout and scream and be ugly the most, if you can stop and make yourself be kind, whether it's appreciated by the other person or diffuses the situation or not, at least you can be proud of yourself. And that has been my motto for a long time, and I am putting it into practice and finding that the truth is, if you're kind, a lot of times it does diffuse a lot. It doesn't mean you have to be a doormat. Be strong, stand up for yourself, but be kind to one another. I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.